I've got 10 of the most popular songs from different artists, and these are all songs that are completely different to their normal stuff. For example, let's get straight into it. The first song on this list is I Wanna Be Yours by Arctic Monkeys. Has an insane number of streams. It's got 3,330,000,000 streams. It's insane how many streams this song has. It's one of the most streamed songs of all time, and it's not very similar to a lot of other Arctic Monkeys songs, although they do have other songs kind of similar, like 505, Number One Party Anthem, and honestly a lot of AM. I think of Arctic Monkeys as more of their early stuff. Whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not, and Favourite Worst Nightmare, even some stuff on Humbug. It's very different to I Wanna Be Yours, and their modern stuff is just completely different. It's kind of like a soft rock, kind of like spacey, a little bit psychedelic if anything, just very soft, and nothing like songs like I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, which are some of my favourite Arctic Monkeys songs. So this is the kind of thing we're going for. Bands where their most popular song is nothing like the rest of their discography. This isn't as common as you might think, because yeah, a lot of bands to break away from their normal stuff, make something really different, and that is the thing that blows up. But for most bands, it's actually just their normal stuff. Think of AC/DC. They're one of the biggest rock bands in the world, and a lot of their songs are quite similar sounding, the same genre, and it goes for that with a lot of bands. So I did struggle to find some of these bands, but I think I've got a great top 10 list here. Ninth, I've got Island in the Sun by Weezer. I don't know a lot about Weezer, but I know enough to know that Island in the Sun is nothing like their usual stuff. I mean, it's not like a whole different world. You can believe that Weezer made the song unlike some of the people at the top of this list, but it's still very, very different to their normal stuff. I'm not going to spend too long talking about Weezer because I really don't know much about Weezer, but Island in the Sun, a great song and very different to their normal stuff. A very underrated band I have next is called Biffy Clyro. You might have heard of them, they're from Scotland, and their most popular song, it's got about 100 million streams, so nothing incredible, but it's called Many of Horror, and I actually think that it is their best song, which doesn't happen often where the band's most popular song is actually their best song. Many of Horror is actually an epic song, and it's very different to their other stuff. A lot of their other stuff is either normal rock, indie rock, or hard rock. They've got a lot of heavy stuff, and I really, really like all of that. But Many of Horror is an outlier. It's really epic, it's a really beautiful piece of music, and it's nothing like their other stuff. In fact, I've never even heard a song like Many of Horror, and I really encourage you to listen to it. It's really, really good. Our fourth song on the list is one that you're probably expecting. I've got Wonderwall by Oasis. So a lot of people, we like to call them Wonderwall warriors, they only know Wonderwall, which is really sad. And I mean, Oasis is one of my favourite bands, and although their most popular songs, Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, Champagne Supernova, Stop Crying Your Heart Out, they are on the softer side compared to other songs that they've made, and they are the most popular. But Wonderwall isn't really like the others. Like, it's a really good song, but it's nothing like their other stuff. It's a bit strange, really, that one was the one that got really, really famous. It's a great song, but nothing like their other stuff. And it is really sad that some people literally only know Wonderwall. And if you're one of those people, listen to some of their other songs. We're halfway through the list now. We've got one called Creep. You'll know this, Creep by Radiohead. Some fun trivia about Creep is that it's literally on the edge of becoming a song in the top 100 most streamed of all time. In fact, let me give it a check right now. At the moment, Creep is at 104. It's really, really close to becoming a top 100 most streamed songs of all time, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Creep is obviously on Radiohead's first album, so everybody knows Radiohead for being, you know, deep, very dark, and like a bit moody, a bit mysterious, and a very deep music, whether it's the lyrics, whether it's the build-up, or whatever we're talking about. Creep is just a classic rock song. It's a really good song, and I hate when people act like it's not a good song because it's not as deep as other Radiohead songs. It's legitimately a really, really good song. And I've not listened to the rest of Pablo Honey, but apparently Pablo Honey, their first album, is not very good. So whether that's because it's not as deep as the others, or if it's literally just bad, either way, Creep is not like the rest of Radiohead stuff, and Creep is literally just a really good rock song. Not like stuff of, I don't know, Kid A or OK Computer or In Rainbows, which are very like thought out and Not that Creep wasn't thought out. I think I'm just rambling now. You know what I mean. Fifth, I've got... Oh, I'm not really ranking them, so I shouldn't say in fifth, but I have kind of put them in an order that I like. They're not ranked, though. You're Gonna Go Far Kid by The Offspring. And this was actually the first Offspring song that I heard, so I was kind of expecting the rest of the Offspring songs to be exactly like this, unlike other songs on this list where I did know some of the others anyway, so it wasn't that big of a surprise. For me, The Offspring was a big surprise, because I love that You're Gonna Go Far Kid. It's a really, really good song, and it's just nothing like the other stuff, whether it's their kind of post-grunge, I guess you call this album, smash. I'm really not sure what you call it, but it's really, really good. Songs like Self-Esteem and Come Out and Play, some of my favourites. And then they also had this album, which was a big change in their style, and I don't really know what you call this style, but it's good. You know, I like some of these songs on it. All these songs which are completely different to You're Gonna Go Far Kid, and I can't really say what that style is. The Offspring is kind of a band that doesn't really have a genre. They just do what they want. And whether that's a good thing is up to you, but You're Gonna Go Far Kid, yeah, it's very different to everything else in their discography. You might have been expecting this, but I don't think people talk about enough how different Bohemian Rhapsody was to the rest of Queen's stuff. Like, even for the early 70s where they started, nothing like their other stuff. For example, Sheer Heart Attack has stuff like Killer Queen, which is very hard to put a genre on it. Like, I don't know what to call that song, but it's nothing like Bohemian Rhapsody, which is sort of like a progressive rock. It's a bit of hard rock, a bit of... Oh, I don't... You see, I can't call it anything really, can I? And then even before Sheer Heart Attack, it was nothing like it. After, they kind of went into just normal rock music, and they never really made anything just like Bohemian Rhapsody. I like to call Innuendo, one of their last hits, a similar structure Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, they've got a kind of 3 distinct sections like Bohemian Rhapsody does, and they changed dramatically, but you can definitely not call Innuendo the same style as Bohemian Rhapsody, even though it's really, really good as well. Bohemian Rhapsody is kind of a standalone thing, and I really wonder how they came up with it, really. Either way, it's definitely deserving of a spot on this list. I've got High Hopes by Panic! At the Disco next. So this song was obviously much later than they started, Panic! At the Disco. I'm not sure exactly when they started, but early 2000s, I think. And High Hopes was 2018, if I'm not mistaken. It's literally just pop rock. There's nothing special about High Hopes, in my opinion. And that's really weird, because Panic! At the Disco is obviously known for being an emo band, or an emo rock, or... I'm not really sure what their label is exactly, but songs like I Write Sins Not Tragedies, kind of how they went famous, so I'm sure it disappointed a lot of their fans when they kind of turned into their more pop rock style of like the later 2010s, but I'm not saying that it's bad. I personally don't really like it, it's just quite generic, but I'm not the biggest Panic! At the Disco fan anyway. I don't know much about them, and whether High Hopes even deserves a spot on this list, because it is kind of the style that they changed into, so it's not like one standalone song, it's just kind of the fact that they changed from emo to pop rock, I guess. You can decide whether you want to keep High Hopes on this list. I'm going to keep it for the time being. I'm definitely want to include in the next one though, Zombie by the Cranberries. I've never heard something like this by them, or in general really. Zombie is 5 minutes long, which is longer than their normal stuff. It's hard rock, which is different to their normal stuff. It's very deep, very like dark, really good in a good way. You know, it's a great song, and it's very different to their normal stuff, like Linger and Dreams and When You're Gone. Some of my favourite songs by the Cranberries. They're all quite upbeat, really. And then you've got Zombie, which is such a like so different to everything they ever did, and it's so good. And I'm not really sure how they did it. It didn't necessarily shock me when I discovered that their other songs weren't like Zombie, but I was kind of expecting... I wasn't really expecting what I got, especially with songs like When You're Gone. I really didn't expect a song like that from the people that made Zombie. It was also quite early in their career. I'm looking at it here. They had one album before it, then they had the album No Need to Argue, which had a Zombie on it and a few other songs. And I've not listened to that entire album, so I'm not sure if the rest of the songs on that album are similar to Zombie. They might be, but it's definitely not similar to any of their hits. For example, the next album after that, To the Faithful Departed, had songs like When You're Gone on it. It's insane, really. And similarly, we've got Song 2 by Blur. This one disappointed me a bit, because you might know, I'm not the biggest fan of Blur. I think Oasis are much better. I do like a few of their songs. Obviously, I knew Song 2 before any of the other stuff, and I was really expecting more Song 2s, to be honest. Maybe a Song 3, maybe a Song 4. yeah, okay, I'll stop that one there. But for example, Girls and Boys, Park Life, Coffee and TV, none of these songs really caught my attention. I found them all a bit annoying, really. I do like some of their songs, but overall I'm not a big Blur fan, and this is the first song on the list where I kind of just wish that they did more of their hits. For example, other songs on this list, like, I don't know, Wonderwall, it's not like I wish they made more Wonderwall. They only need to make one Wonderwall, and you could say that for other songs on this list, but song 2, I prefer it to the normal stuff, but I might be a bit biased because, you know, I don't like Blur that much, and it's nonetheless, it's still really, like, insane that song 2 is completely different to the rest of the stuff. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like down below. If you enjoyed my content, subscribe, and if I forgot any of these songs that you would have put on this list, comment them down below.